Tonight, Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps parades for suspects. Plus, World Elderly Abuse Awareness Day, correspondent strays place of the elderly in society. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Elizabeth Omako. The spread of the novel coronavirus disease in Nigeria continues to rise as the latest statistics provided by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reveals Nigeria recorded 403 new cases and 13 deaths as at 14 June. Of the 43 new confirmed cases reported from 20 states, Gombe has 73, Lagos 68, Kano 46, Edo 36, FCT 35, Nasarawa 31, Kaduna 17, Oyo 16, Abia 15, with Delta and Borno recording 13 cases each, Plateau 8, Niger and Rivers 7, plus 6 each for Enugu, Ogun, and Kebbi, while Ondo has 5, Anambra and Imo has 1 case each. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 16,085. Total number of discharged stands at 5,220 and 420 deaths recorded so far. And with the 36 new confirmed cases of the infection recorded in Edo, the state now has 580 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with 422 active cases, 133 discharged, while 25 deaths have been recorded. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has observed with dismay an escalation or disregard of its guidelines and has warned that all relaxed measures are still subject to review. PTF Chairman Boss Mustafa, during the task force briefing this Monday, says Nigerians still exhibit high-risk behaviors, which unfortunately accelerates community transmission, while urging Nigerians to discourage and speak up against mass gatherings that could lead to surge in community transmission. The chairman called for proper use of face masks in addition to other personal hygiene to help curb community transmission of the virus. The PTF also frowned at continued breach of interstate ban, warning state governments to desist from opening schools as it is premature to do so. And with the plan of the Edo state government to ease partial lockdown in 2 to 3 weeks' time, there are indications that number of confirmed cases may likely double. This is as a result of the inability of residents in Benin metropolis to adhere to safety guidelines to contain the further spread of the virus in the state. Philomena Agbapo reports. The reports will be brought to you in the course of the bulletin. And right now we're having a guest in the studio. Let's not go for a break. We'll be right back.
Una know say more than half of the people wey coronavirus don kill for Edo State na 60 years and above. Coronavirus no just get sorry heart for elderly people and other people wey get sickness like kidney disease, hypertension, asthma, tuberculosis, diabetes and cancer. I beg, if you know say you be 60 years and above and you get all this disease, may you careful sit down for your house and mind your business. And our dear young people, no carry coronavirus give your papa, mama, grandpapa and grandmama because their body no be like your own. Una no see the number of coronavirus positive and people wey don die for Edo State. COVID-19 no be play but just continue to do wetin government talk. Maintain social distance and wash your hand always with soap and wear face mask for public. With your cooperation, coronavirus go be history soon. na Edo State government bring una this story.
Now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Say, say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. Shey na all of us marry am together. When her mama die, she collect money. Her papa die, she collect money. Her mama die, she collect. You remember when she talk say she wanted her mama dead body?
Mama, you too talk.
Now you be glow wey dey dash me credit anyhow. Imagine 40-year-old dead body. Why you dey laugh now? Now true, abeg bring your money.
Mama, no laugh.
No be you, Jare. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Whoa, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make I sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
Ogbele 2020 don't come with ogbonge travel awufo. Muyi Line, the transport company where get everybody for mind. Say comfortable traveling no suppose tear pocket o. As awu bonanza price still dey from Benin to Lagos, mine to Yanapaja Yaba and Aja for just 2,500 naira. Benin to Port Harcourt 2,000 naira plus cheap awu price. So worry Bayelsa and Niger Delta routes, including Ekpoma, Auchi and Abuja. Muyi Line executive charter cars like Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry, and Sienna dey to local and international airports and anywhere for Nigeria. Save money, enjoy safe and comfortable journey as this travel awoof day till June 30th, 2020. Muyi Line head office dey 169 Oselu Lagos Road, opposite Technical Junction, Benin City. Muyi Line, friend of Nigeria students.
Thanks for staying tuned. With the plan of the Edo State government to ease partial lockdown in 2 to 3 weeks' time, there are indications that number of confirmed cases will likely double. This is as a result of the inability of residents in Benin metropolis to adhere to safety guidelines to contain the further spread of the virus in the state. And with this, we will be discussing with our guest. He is Dr. Emmanuel Oduware. He is the Chief Resident Department of Family Medicine, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, sir. What do you think about the fact that residents do not stick to the stipulated guidelines? What does it actually portend, especially as the state government plans to ease lockdown in no distant time?
Yeah, so the first thing will be to elucidate on what are the stipulated guidelines. Basically, it's 2 forms. One, physical distancing. The second is hand hygiene. Physical distancing, pari passu, with wearing the face covering, wearing the public space. And we've harped on the reason for this over and over again, why this is necessary. That because we're dealing with essentially a respiratory germ or a disease-causing organism that has its predilection or gravitates towards the respiratory, that's the airway, then we have a mechanical barrier, that's the face covering, between the aerosols that we generate when we talk, when we sing, when we shout, and our airway. Then we have created a barrier. And if people are wearing that, as I'm wearing the face covering as a cloth mask, you're wearing the face covering, they'll reduce the chance of any person getting infected. And if we have that physical distancing of about 2 meters, about at least 1.5 meters, then because these are aerosols, that means they are heavy particulate matter, they're heavy, so they will drop to the ground. It means that the further we stay apart, the less likely it is for any of those aerosols containing germs to drop on someone's face and then migrate towards the airway. Now, so these are commonsensical principles. Now, that said, the reality is that everywhere in the world, and it's a human thing, whenever you've had stringent guidelines like a lockdown, and then after a while, because of economic reasons and because of the fact that we are social animals, as it were, the government in any part of the world starts easing restrictions. The unintended message that is passed across is the war is over, we won. That has happened in every pandemic historically. And it's that reason that you have what we call epidemiologically a second wave and then the third wave. Now, usually, it's not the first wave that is more calamitous. It's only the second wave of infections and third wave. Now the US now is beginning to prepare for a second wave. As the US is locked down about 3 weeks ago, about 20 states of the US, they're saying at least 18, a steady rise. Now if we stretch over 25 states, they've not had a dip because now people are going out, people are huddling with themselves, and the same pattern we're seeing in Europe, the same pattern we're seeing in Africa. Now we've been fortunate so far in Africa, and the reason is that the theories that we've had so far, what we majorly have come to see as what has been the saving grace for Africa is that, unfortunately or paradoxically, is because we don't have too many old people. Because, like we said over and over again, this disease has its victims, majorly those who are old, that's the elderly, and those who have comorbidities like diabetes and co. However, we have to ask ourselves some honest questions as a society. Between now and December, are we willing as a society to see more of the fragile, the weak, the vulnerable, that's our old people, or those who have diabetes, die? Because that's the pattern we're beginning to see in the hospital. We are losing more old people than ever before, or losing more diabetics. So again, we keep saying the young who contract this infection are unlikely to have serious problems. Their body will fight it, but it's who they give it to that's the problem.
Now, you made mention of the elderly,
Yes.
of which they are the worst hit.
Yes.
What marks Elder Abuse Awareness Day? The thought again that comes to mind is we talk about the elderly ones. What do you think? What is the prospect in times like this?
Yes. We're concerned historically. That's still an ongoing issue. But elderly abuse by both caregivers and even gross neglect by society, institutionally. The elderly, by virtue of being old, tend to be physically challenged, and we don't have our constructions, our access to buildings retrofitted to allow them have access. Now, against that background, we're now having an extra issue. There is an existential threat to the elderly, and that's the coronavirus pandemic. The truth is that we, the young people, constitute the majority of population. I mean, we're the youngest population in the whole world. I mean, Africa. So we constitute by far the largest demographic. But fortunately, our old papas and mamas are going to be the ones who are fortunately are worst hit by this. So it's itself, in some way, a form of, if not abuse, a form of irresponsibility for us young people, knowing that we are not going to be so affected, to go about in the public space, carrying about as if nothing happens, as if there's no big deal, it's just a hoax, it's a scam, and then you contract a virus like we were saying. I see people who are elderly. I mean, we had a 90-year-old patient the other day who came positive just 2 days ago in EVTH. Unfortunately, by the time the result was out, she was dead. I mean, it's just so painful and so grueling that we're just going to lose old people like we don't care. So it's some form of irresponsibility for a young person now. And now the churches are open and public gardens are open. It's irresponsible for those people just go out because you know you will not be infected. Or if you're infected, you'll not seriously be affected. Just go about carelessly, and then you go transport it to some old person who is in your house or who's your neighbor. Because this is what's going to happen. We have to be very serious about this. This is the reality. We have to ask ourselves, an honest Christian society, are we prepared to bury more old people between now and December, or more people who have diabetes? That's the question we have to answer.
That was Dr. Emmanuel Oduwari. He is the Chief Resident, Department of Family Medicine, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
At a time, pleasure as well.
4 suspects have been paraded for various offenses by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSC-3C, Edo State Command. Eugenia Undabesi has details.
The suspects, who were between the ages of 19 to 26 years, were allegedly terrorizing a Kenwa area of Benin City. Items recovered from the suspects include a hammer, cutlass, and bullets. The suspects were apprehended on receipt of an intelligent information. The Deputy Commandant, NSCDC, Edo State Command, urged the public to always report to security agents any suspicious character in their neighborhood.
That's why we say that if you see something, you say something. We continue to urge the general public to give reliable information to security agencies, because no agency can do it alone. It is in collaboration with the public that we can achieve results such as this.
One of the suspects, who allegedly robbed one of the shops in the area, confessed to the crime, while some also confessed to being members of a cult group.
They stole a recharge card and umbrella. I'm doing service work, all those labor work I'm doing. So work not day. I make us go do all those, make me go do one.
Community people, the vigilante people, they call the search. We ask because the work cause they gun they ask. So they call search. We ask. They not call see anything. When I want call climb up, call see 3 bullets.
The suspect will be handed over to the police for further investigation. In Benin, Eugenia Ndivisi, NTA News.
The need to adopt more decisive legislative action and more diligently enforce extant laws against sex offenders now dominates public and private discussions. Edo State in particular is advocating proper domestication of its violence against persons prohibition VAP law, being a standout state in the country with spectacular experiences of rape and death. Anwuli Okolo reports the situation and decisive steps to stop the horror in the states.
On Sunday, May 31st, the media went agog with a tragic story of Waila Omozua, a student of the University of Benin. She had been raped and injured on Wednesday, 27th of May, and eventually died 3 days later. With this inhumane act still fresh on the table, another rape case emerged in Edo State, this time a pregnant woman. Queen Ibinewo, she was raped at her residence and found dead by neighbors who contacted the police.
The rapist is motivated by a belief that he can get away with it.
Come out and let the whole world know what happened to you. So that way people can come out to help you, the government can help you.
There should be no settlement of rape cases. So that at any point in time, anyone that rapes or defiles or assaults someone else will go in for it.
It's a special court that we handle rape-related incidents so that justice can be meted out to these victims.
Cases that have to do with rape should be expedited.
Edo State should also, move fast and ensure that we also have the sexual offenders register domiciled in the state.
Edo State Governor signed the Violence Against Persons 2015 Act into law in February 2019, and the state has also had a child rights law domesticated in 2007. The effect of these laws has been mild and limited.
We'll make people aware that certain types of behavior are totally inappropriate. We have response centers that in a week or two will shortly be in place. One should have been in place if not for the COVID pandemic. At the centers, the services will be totally free, and this includes the different tests that are necessary to nail the perpetrators.
Speaker of the State House of Assembly says the state is considering applying stiffer punishments.
We are looking at maybe coming up with private member B. The executive is not coming up with it. We are asking other NGOs to be part of this public hearing as soon as the bill is ready for us on the floor of the House.
Meanwhile, all rape cases are no longer to be handled at divisional levels, but will be brought to the police state headquarters for proper investigation. In Benin, Anwuli Okolo, NTA News.
This is NTA News at 7. More reports coming your way after this time out. Do stay on.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, 2 things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Randeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities, fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Randeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Randeki Royal Hotel at 6 Uhenoyi Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.randekihotels.com. Randeki Gold, our hospitality is gold.
The The season of touching the hearts and changing lives is here again, and the program is loading. The Citywide Crusade, the scholarship program, the prison ministrations and releasing of some convicted inmates, the free medical program, payment of hospital bills, and the commissioning of donated projects including the Uromi Central Hospital Accident and Emergency Unit, road network at the Federal Polytechnic Auchi, and the dedication of some churches by Dr. Matthew Pewolo. The other programs commemorating the why of the birth of our chairman and more will be holding. The programs will be spread within 6 months from the 15th of June to the 15th of December 2020 because schools are not in session. Traveling and gatherings are restricted because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Each of the program will announce at the most convenient time within this 6 months period. God is involved. Announcer Barrister Onome Briggs, Secretary Matthew Okpevulu Foundation.
Please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. Our place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City. Please until
Pleasant Hill Signature Hotel, a place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City, located at 134 Akpakpavo Road, Benin City, Edo State, or call 0528 40557 or 081 36 3908.
Please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. A place of hospitality.
It's finally here. Yes, the one-stop shop for everything electronics. Benin City, let's jubilate. It's Uyi Technical Electronics Mall, 45 Adesewa Road, Benin City. Our unique shopping mall for authentic high-quality electronics of major brands like LG, Samsung, Scanfrost, Nexus, Hisense, and more. Get quality authentic brand products like refrigerators, side-by-side fridges, deep freezers, front and top load washing machines, gas cookers, air conditioners, OLED and other varieties of television, DVD players, home theater, standing fans, home appliances, generators of different brands and sizes. You name it, we've got it. Get the best bargain and authentic products at Uyi Technical Electronics Mall, 45 Adesuwa Road, opposite Winners Chapel by Ihama Junction, GRA, Benin City. Uyi Technical Electronic Mall. Everything electronics. We dare to stand out.
Many thanks for your time. In 2005, the United Nations set aside 14th of June every year to heighten the awareness of the need to donate blood globally. Peter Oyibo reports that residents of Benin emphasize the need for safe blood through effective screening. That report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on now, just like every other demographic group, the elderly are part of society and as such are expected to enjoy all basic human rights. As the world marks Elder Abuse Awareness Day, Eugenia Undubisi takes a look on how the elderly can have a sense of belonging.
World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is celebrated June 15 every year to raise awareness about abuse and neglect of older persons and create awareness of the socio-cultural, economic, and demographic processes affecting the elderly. At one time or the other, the elderly are abused and neglected due to ill health and other conditions. Some respondents, including elderly women, expressed concern on negative attitude towards the older ones.
Time reach when they want eat, you know the food when the old people supposed to eat. You have to make the old people knit well. Don't they shout? Don't they shout for the old people?
When you are getting old, things that you never experienced before, you continue to experience them. So if you see your elder people, even though it's not your mother or anybody, they're supposed to respect elderly people.
Our parents raised us right from childhood, and they expect more from us when they get old. And that's when we are supposed to pay back for all they did for us, because financially we cannot pay them back.
Elderly are like the young, just like the little children. They need to be cared for. They need to be, just taken care of like you care for the kindergarten children. You see some of them, they are beaten by the people who are meant to take care of them. And they have no way of saying this is what happened to me.
Concerns for the elderly have been brought to the fore during this period of COVID-19 as they are more susceptible to the disease. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Gender Issues, Edo State, Maria Edeko, and former Minister of Women Affairs, Josephine Aneni, maintained that the rights of the elderly should be protected in the society.
We've been sending palliatives to them, and His Excellency has been very particular that the elderly, especially this COVID-19, we should keep them safe in their home.
Functional activities, can promote longevity. Those who are well, the well old, can live long, age gracefully, because they can do a lot of things. They can read, they can walk, they can do so many things.
The theme for this year's celebration is Lifting Up Voices. In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
That completes our package for tonight. To have a pleasant night rest. Good night.